Morning, everybody. Merry Christmas. I decided today I was going to do a little Christmas themed look for you guys for your holiday parties or whatever. I'll do a couple of these the next few days, and I'll also do a New Year's Eve thing so you guys can kind of pick and choose what you want to do. I just got out of the shower, so I don't have any makeup on or any primer on yet at all, so I'm going to start with that. So I'm using the Glorious Touch Glorious Face Primer by Younique, and of course the eye primer as well. So let me get this. A couple little dabs. Alright. So I'm just going to smooth this out. And this is going to help keep my makeup from like sinking down in my pores and creating like huge pore craters. It's also going to help my makeup stay put all day long. I'd like to open my window so y'all can have better lighting, but when I do, I end up with lovely little prison bars across my face. I'll show you. So open it up. See? Nice little prison bars. We're not going to do that. That's not a good look. Alright, so the eye primer. The eye primer has a little bit of a tint to it. It's just like a nude, very nude. It doesn't even show on your lid at all. It just helps your eye makeup stay where it's supposed to be. So for this Christmas look, I'm going to be doing green and gold for the eyes. And I think I'll probably do nude for the lips. Just cause. I haven't decided yet. I might change my mind halfway through. We'll see. Alright, so I'm going to start with my makeup. So I'm using the Liquid Touch Mineral Touch Foundation in Scarlet. It's a cream to powder. It's a liquid to powder finish, so you have to shake it up, otherwise it gets kind of not chunky, but it separates in the bottle some. So get a few drops of this. All right, come on now. And I'm just going to take and dot this on my skin directly. You can put it on a brush, you can put it on a beauty blender, you can do whatever you normally do with your makeup. This is the way I usually like to do it. I think today I'm going to start out with a brush. This is actually the Younique foundation brush. It's a nice little, almost doe foot shaped brush, and it's super soft. And starting at the center, working my way out. So that if the shade isn't exactly a match for me, this one actually is pretty good, but if it's exactly a match, I'll fade out towards the edges, so I don't look like I have that great, makeup line that just is so hot when you have that going on. And I'm also doing my foundation first, and then going back in with my concealer, so I don't use as much concealer, or don't overdo it, so I have like little clay-looking mountains all over my face. It would be lovely. Luckily, I don't have a lot of issues right now, but alright. And you kind of want to go in circular, kind of buffing motions, so you don't have any like real lines or anything. Paintbrush lines. Alright. So that is foundation. Now, I'm going to be using the Scarlet Concealer because I'm so fair that they actually don't have a shade 2 shades lighter than my natural skin tone. But this is as close as we get. So I'm going to take and use, I'm actually going to use my concealer brush for this so I don't get as much. So I'm just going to take and put a little bitty drop on my hand. A little bitty bit. Just to kind of warm it on my hand a little bit so it goes on a little smoother. Take and kind of pounce that with my foundation brush, or not my foundation, my concealer brush. I'm going to just go under the eyes, across kind of the top of the cheekbone. You want to do this kind of triangular shape to kind of highlight your eye area and your cheekbone. It looks like I might actually need a little more concealer. Get a little bit more of that. You really want to use circular motions here too for blending this out. That also helps hide any large open pores you got. Now where I have my issues today, are actually not on my face, it's on my neck, which I really hate. Little spots right there. I'm just going to go in with the concealer and work that around there. A little bit on the chin. Right, and so that blends in a little bit better than being quite so stark. I'm going to take my foundation brush that I just used and just kind of blend the edges of where I put my concealer. Alright, so always creams or liquids first, and then you go in with your powders. Powders go well over your creams and liquids and set them, but if you do the opposite, it'll kind of cake up and look really funky. So this would be the pressed powder foundation in Scarlet. I'm using all Scarlet today, so it's winter time. I'm getting very, very pale, so that works. Just going to use this kind of dust over my face. Just to kind of set my foundation and my concealer. Alright. And I'm going to take and use this angled foundation, or this angled foundation brush here, to actually do a little contouring on my face. I'm going to use the Beachfront bronzer in Sunset, which is this one. And I'm going to use the lighter one because, as I said, I'm pale. So all you're going to do is run right along the cheekbone here. And literally this is so fair, it's only going to give me like a hint of, oh, there's a little bit of shadow there. Oh, okay. Because I'm so fair. But obviously with being fair, you don't want to like overdo the contouring and looking like you got racing stripes all over your face. But, you know. Okay. I'm also going to contour my forehead a little bit. Just along the edges. Down to the temples a little bit. I'm not going to do like all over bronzer because obviously it's winter. And I think it would look a little funny to have like super bronzy skin unless you happen to have that skin tone, which I don't. When I haven't been out in the sun to get any kind of tan. Just kind of blending this out a little bit. I'll blend it out some more once I get some blush on. Do a little bit under the jaw. Why not? Push all that double chin back. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna use today for blush, I'm gonna use Scandalous, which is a little dark, but I love this color. That's the Moodstruck Minerals Pressed Blusher in Scandalous, which is this kind of rosy copper shade almost. It's not quite a coral. Coral's a little brighter. But with this stuff, you only need a little bit. So literally I'm taking my blush brush and going tap, tap, and that's probably more than enough for my cheekbone. So I'll run this just on my cheekbone. Just about where I did that contour color. Now, as I've gotten a little bright right there, I'm just going to take my powder brush that still has some of the powder foundation on it and blend that a little bit. Blend it out so it's not quite so stark. I don't know why it came out quite that dark on there, but anyway. Alright, so that's basically all the face makeup I'm doing except for my eyes. And for this look, I'm going to go in with the Splurge Cream Shadow in Elegant. Is that, yeah. And this is that really pretty champagne gold. You can see. So like I said, I'm doing greens and golds today. I might incorporate a little bit of brown, but mostly just greens and golds. So I have my cream shadow brush, which is a synthetic hair, kind of a stiff brush. So I'm just going to go in here a little bit. Get a little bit of my cream shadow. And I'm actually going to take this from my lid all the way up to my brow bone. I love shimmer. If you don't want to take shimmer up that far, you do what you would like to do. But I love shimmer. I love the fact that it brings light to my eyes. I did a nude look the other day where it was I did all matte shadows. Did not like it as well because it just didn't bring as much light to my eye area as I really feel like I need. So you can see this is a really pretty pale champagne. Nothing too crazy. But also if you use this shimmery cream shadow under a matte shadow, it will make the matte shadow shimmery, which my green shadow is a matte shadow, so. Let's bring it down a little bit in the corner so you can kind of see that. Now before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and curl my eyelashes so I don't end up having to mess up my eye makeup with the curler once I get ready to, so. I want to know who invented eyelash curlers. Who thought it'd be a good idea to put something that pinches your eyelashes so, you know. It can't have been a good thought. I can't imagine. And again, the things we do for beauty, a lot of them are medieval, aren't they? Alright, so I'm just giving my lashes a little zhuzh with the curler. And since I'm going to be using the green more as my darker shade, which will be like a little bit in the crease, but more the outer V here, I'm actually going to do a transition shade in my crease. So I'm going to be using Addiction Palette 1, Mood Addiction Palette 1, which as you can see is browns, golds, neutrals. That's going to be great for this. So I'm going to take where's my brush? There it is. My shader liner brush, and I'm going to go into the color Chipper. I think I'm actually going to blend Chipper and Brassy here, these two colors, for my transition shade. So I'm just going to go in. I think I'll go into the Brassy first, and then take just a little bit of Chipper. And that's going to go right in my crease. So this is not a huge amount of color. Might get a little extra shimmer, a little extra chipper in here to kind of darken this up just a bit. But it's just enough to give a little bit of contour to the eye. Is that good? Okay, we're gonna go with that, I think. Alright, so that's our transition shade. Now I'm going to go for my mineral pigment, Moonstruck Mineral Pigments in Crushed, which is pretty like forest green. Ooh, got a lot of color out there, okay. So it's this shade here. Alright, and I'm going to take and dampen my shader brush, again, the fluffy end of my shader brush here, shader liner brush. Just get a little bit damp. In fact, that's probably too damp. I'll blot off some of that water. Alright, pick up just a little bit of color from the pigment pot. Go in the outer V section of the eye. And don't worry if this is like a little strong right here, right now, because we're going to blend it out, so. So that's your green. Just do the same thing on the other side. So that's our green. Since this shadow is a little bit damp, I'm going to let it dry just a minute before I blend it, so I don't just smear it everywhere. Okay, I have a nice fluffy blending brush. This is one kind of like a round barrel brush, but it's hot baby. But it's, so I'm just blending. You can hear the dog whining. I don't know why he's whining. Okay. Blending. My green, which is making this much more subtle than it was. That's fine because we're going to, Darcy, what, baby? We're going to be lining in green as well. So I have the Younique Precision liner pencil in, I believe this is Prosperous, which is a pretty green, which you can't see just on the video, but I'll kind of put it on my hand there. Doesn't really even look green, but it actually is green. So I'm going to kind of try and tight line my lid here with this. Let's get it right down close to the lash line. Now I'm going to wing my liner out because I like winged liner. So wing it out and then kind of thicken that outer line a little bit to incorporate the wing. There we go. Okay, same thing over here. Tight line the lash line. Wing it out and kind of fill it back in a little bit. So the green is also going to go on my waterline, on my lower waterline. You can definitely do the upper waterline with this as well. I find it a little difficult to do my upper waterline, to be honest with you. I can do the bottom one, but not the upper one. Okay, so I'm going to line this lower lash line on my left eye. Now what I'm going to do under the lash line on the lower lashes, oh, sorry, is bring a little bit of that brassy and chipper again. That transition shade that I did under the lash line. Kind of feather it out into that wing a little bit. So that's that. And I think, just from my perspective, I think we need a little more green on the lid. What is your problem? Sorry, the dog. I don't know what his problem is, but anyway. I'm just going to take and add a little more green to the outer V. Darcy, what is the matter with you? Okay. I think I'll take the shade, the transition shade as well, and kind of smudge the green liner on the top lid. Just kind of smudge it out so it's not quite so harsh. Still keeping that wing there though. So that is the eyeshadow eye look, which is really pretty, I think. So now to do the eyebrows. I prefer to use my liner brush and some powder for my brows. If you like doing the brow pencil and brow gel, do that. This is just what I prefer because I like my eyebrows really filled in. So I'm just kind of following the upper contour of my brow. And the lower line of my brow. And just meeting that up at the outer end. Filling in to about 2/3, 3/4 of the way. And then just kind of giving myself a little bit here in the front. So it's darker on the outer edge. Okay. So that is the brows. Okay. And my brows are not even. One of them arches very nicely, one of them tends to curve. I like the natural look of having slightly uneven brows personally, because that's just the way my brows grow. I'd rather follow that, but if you want them perfect, you do them perfect. It's up to you. So mascara and then lips. So should I go more nude? I think I'll go with a berry shade. A lighter berry. That'll be pretty with this. I'm not going to do the traditional red, but you could obviously do that if you wished. Alright, so for those of you who have not used our 3D Fiber Lash Mascara, it comes with two products. A gel, transplanting gel is what it's called, and fibers, little bamboo fibers. You put the gel on, one coat of the gel. While the gel is still wet, you apply the fibers so they can stick to the damp gel. And you let that dry while you do the other eye. Now I'm not going to put fibers on my lower lashes. I do a lot of times, but today I'm just not feeling it. I'm just going to do the gel, which actually works as a fantastic mascara anyway without the fibers. But if you want to add like 400 plus the volume and the thickness to your lashes, the fibers are the way to go. Alright. So, does anybody have plans for Christmas? Anything wild going on? Going out of town, staying in town? Or do you not celebrate Christmas? What are you doing? Are you doing anything for the holidays at all? Hope you're going to get a break at least. Alright, so now I'm going to go back over the fibers with another coat of gel to set them so they will not fall off and flake off and get all over my face. I said I wasn't going to do red, but I think I'm actually going to do a shade of red. Take a cotton ball, get rid of any fallout from my eyeshadow or my mascara. Alright. So I think what I'm going to use is the Pompous lip liner, which is a wine berry shade. It's really pretty. This is actually one of my favorites. You can kind of see that's the color. And I think I'm going to actually use Luscious, which is a dark red lip gloss. One of the Nutrition Lucrative lip glosses. So I'm just going to line my lips with the Pompous. Little tip for making your lips fuller. Line your lips here at the Cupid's bow with a cross. A little X like that. And then line the lip and the lower lip. And I know Kylie Jenner's lips are like all the rage and everything. So to kind of give that illusion of fullness, you can use a white liner on the center of your lips. You can also take and draw a line in the center to kind of give you that double lobed lip effect that's so popular. Now I don't have a white liner on me, but I could take and use like a dab of my concealer, which I think I will do, just like the smallest little touch at the center of my lip, kind of work its way in. And since I'm doing the highlight like that, I'm actually going to bring in, knock it off, whatever you're doing down there. Kind of bring in and shadow the outer edge. Okay, looks kind of funky right now, doesn't it? But I'm going to take my Luscious lip gloss, which is this gorgeous red, and just go over top. You can see due to the highlight and the contouring around my lip with the liner and the concealer, my lips appear a little bit fuller than they usually are. If you know me, my lips are not that big. Also, you can take a white pencil if you have the white pencil and underline and overline your lip and blend that in. That'll also make your lips look fuller. But I don't have that, so I'm not going to do that. So alright, so that is the green and gold holiday look, which I think turned out very pretty. I hope you guys liked it. And I will be posting another one. I think I'm going to do silvers and grays next, which should be really pretty. Oh, I actually want to take and go into palette 5, Addiction palette 5. You can see. And you can see that gold shade. That's like super duper gold shade, which is right here. I'm going to take that on my liner brush. Just kind of dip my liner brush in there. Get just a little bit of that. And I'll use that to highlight the inner corners of my eyes, which will give them a lot of light and sparkle. And this is a gold shade, so I mean it's definitely gold. I'll be using the silver shade for the silver look when I do that one. But for one day, there we go. And you know, some people would say, well, that's way too fancy to wear out. I'm wearing this to my guitar lesson tonight. That's all I got going on is my guitar rehearsal. So I've been hanging out with a bunch of great people and playing and singing and doing all kinds of fun stuff. But it's definitely a casual affair, we'll put it that way. And everything, so this could definitely go. I don't mind wearing a little bit bolder stuff to stuff like that, but that's entirely up to you. If this is too fancy, keep it for a party look. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will post the silver one hopefully tomorrow, and you will hopefully like that one too. If you have any questions, comments, or have any suggestions on what you might like to see, especially if you're, excuse me, my nose is running. If you're familiar with the Younique products, if there's a color combination you want me to try, let me know. I will be happy to try it for you. You guys take care, and I will talk to you later.